watching live transmission on BBC One of England's first World Cup match against Portugal. And among those hoping to be playing in Monterrey is Gary Lineker, top scorer in the country with 31 goals for Everton. What an irony that his transfer fee of £800,000 fixed by the independent tribunal was actually £25,000 less than Spurs offered Leicester City when he was still under contract. Instead, Tottenham paid £590,000 for Chris Waddle, whose goal last Sunday was his 10th of the season. Tonight, he's been given a deeper role, initially reinforcing a Spurs midfield, which also includes Graham Roberts, back after suspension. Mark Falco will start as a lone striker, Glenn Hoddle has been given licence to roam, and Gary Mabbutt, despite wearing number 7, will stay at centre-back after passing a test on a knee injury. But a swelling behind the knee rules out Everton's England right-back Gary Stevens. He sees a specialist tomorrow, so Alan Harper deputises. Paul Bracewell is fit to return to midfield, so Adrian Heath drops to substitute. The pitch tonight very soft, where on Sunday it was bone hard, but for the second time in 3 days, groundsman Colin White has prepared a commendable playing surface. Referee John Martin was in charge of Everton's semi-final last season against Luton Town at Villa Park. And what a task here for Tottenham to pick themselves up after the Liverpool defeat against an Everton side unbeaten in 13 matches, 11 wins and 2 draws. For the 3rd year running, Everton have put a prolific run together after Christmas. That was Roberts for Spurs, then Perryman, then Gary Stevens. That's the Tottenham Gary Stevens, of course. Paul Allen. Falco's in the centre with Waddle. Still Allen. And he got his cross in, and Waddle goes in with Alan Harper and forces a corner. Stevens, Falco and Waddle are lined up. They scored from a corner early on Sunday, remember. This is Perryman. This is Hoddle. Curled in. Falco is coming in. Southall coming out. And Everton had pulled 10 people back. Here's Paul Allen again. Against Richardson. Here's Waddle. Forward by Mabbutt. There's Roberts, then Reed. Now here's Alan Harper, but the whistle's already gone because Reed was caught by the late challenge. It's going to be quite a tussle, Reed and Perryman in there, I would imagine. Vanden Hauwe will take the kick. Looking for Graham Sharp here. The first of Gary Lineker's goals for Everton this season was scored here at White Hart Lane back in August. Gave Everton a 1-0 win in the league over Tottenham. Here's Harper. Now Richardson. And Sharp. Good running by Bracewell here. Lineker's in the centre. And did Clements bring Bracewell down? The referee has backed away. And the Everton players clustered round him momentarily. But they've now subdued the protest, and nothing apart from a goal kick. 1 or 2 Tottenham hearts missed a beat here. Clements and Bracewell, no penalty. Now Gary Stevens well forward for Tottenham. This is Perryman. Now it's Thomas looking for Waddle, but he gave the ball away to Trevor Steven. Waddle, Hoddle. digging his way out. Now, can he release Falco? Onside! Gary Stevens is coming in from the far side here. Ratcliffe. Away by Richardson. And on the break, Lineker for Everton. To Stephen. Now Bracewell, looking for Lineker. And Mabbutt intercepts. Hoddle, who began that move. Glenn Hoddle set this up, and the man he released was Mark Falco, who was onside. He played the right ball because he was looking for Gary Stevens tearing in from the far flank, but Kevin Ratcliffe got a foot to the ball, and Everton survived. Well, even when Spurs are going through a bad time, there's something particularly warming about an FA Cup night at White Hart Lane. Tingle around the place, and with Everton in this strenuous sort of form, the tie is set up for something dramatic. Bear in mind, it's the first meeting there's no extra time tonight scheduled. Stephen. Poynton. Ratcliffe. He was hustled into the area, and he's also on the deck. Kevin Ratcliffe is injured. The player who he was tangling with was Falco, and that looks an awkward fall by Kevin Ratcliffe, who's not a player who goes down very often. Referee had a good look at what happened. Falco came in, I think he was already on his way down when Falco made contact. Well, despite that treatment, Kevin Ratcliffe clearly can't continue with that ankle injury. He's going off, and that'll mean that the back four will have to continue without him, with Richardson playing right back, Harper in the middle, and they're going to bring Adrian Heath, the sub, on in midfield. Came off Falco. Here's Reed. It's one for Sharp to chase. Lineker's in the centre. Everton back four coping well, and here's Lineker on the break, where he's so dangerous. Sharp's in support. That's a lovely idea to spread that wide to Trevor Stephen. And Lineker comes in again. Oh, and Adrian Heath did as well, behind him. Number 12. That was a close thing, and beautifully set up by Lineker and Trevor Stephen. Two England prospects for Mexico. Well, those people who argue for summer football, I have to say, have got a point. This ludicrous, chaotic FA Cup season now has been made even worse by pitches being flooded. Fortunately, here at Tottenham, this surface is so good, they can carry on playing. Well, Howard Kendall won't be complaining about the half-time score because he had to reorganise. He lost his captain, Kevin Ratcliffe, and had to switch the back four around and bring on the substitute. And at half-time in this fifth-round cup tie, so vital to both clubs, it's Spurs 0, Everton 0. So Everton start the second half of this cup tie without three of the back four who did so well for them last season. Derek Mountfield out since September, Gary Stevens misses tonight's game, and Kevin Ratcliffe off injured in the first half, all missing as the second half starts. Just wonder whether Tottenham will be able to capitalise on that, but there are some resilient fellows back there for Everton just the same. Everton aiming here to get into the last 8 of the FA Cup for the 6th time in the last 7 seasons. That was Hoddle. Waddle. Bent in well, Falco was there! And the touch took the ball the wrong side of the post. Neville Southall picks him up, but Waddle put the ball in. Falco and Hoddle were arriving here at a rate of knots. Waddle's ball in was bent beautifully, and it was Falco who stretched out the left foot, but wide. Not much is going Falco's way at the moment in front of goal. It was Miller. And again, Glenn Hoddle is the furthest player forward for Spurs. Vanden Hauwe turned away from him. Stephen, away from Thomas. Reed, trying to release Bracewell. Reed again. Bracewell again. Waddle. It's gone in the second half. It's Danny Thomas preparing to take the throw for Tottenham. Flags up for offside. Referee hasn't seen it. Did in fact acknowledge the linesman, but it wouldn't have mattered. Everton with this healthy lead in the championship race, trying to retain that title, and also, remember, trying to reach the FA Cup final for the third year running. Winners in '84, runners-up last year. That's Sharp. Here's Stephen, and this is Lineker. And Sharp goes in, and it's going to come to Heath, and a goal! By Adrian Heath, the substitute. 6 minutes into the second half, Everton show their pedigree. Undermanned they may be in defence, but dangerous in attack. The whip ball in, Clements didn't collect, Sharp didn't connect, but Adrian Heath, who's a pilferer of goals from those positions, marks his arrival as the substitute by putting Everton in front. So, the side in form take the lead against the club out of form. This is Roberts. Well, Tottenham now are going to be fighting the fiercest battle they've had all season. They've just got to keep plugging away and hope to get it back. This is Perryman. Otherwise, there's very little left for them on the horizon. Perryman's cross forces the corner. This is Waddle. And Falco and off the line. Harper and Richardson both back there. And Falco was so unlucky. Alan Harper in the right place. On by Sharp. There's Lineker and Trevor Stephen may get free. Sharp waiting in the centre, so is Lineker, so is Heath. Oh, and it was Paul Allen. We've been playing for an hour. Everton lead 1-0. Vanden Hauwe has gone to the near post. Lineker is standing by the far post. Saved by Clements. Lineker had the first header, Vanden Hauwe had the chance, stabbed it, and Clements stopped it right on the line. The corner swung in dangerously for Lineker to have a free header in actual fact. The marking terrible, and Vanden Hauwe might be unhappy that he didn't make it 2-0. This is Allen. Bracewell. I would imagine we shall see John Chiedozie any minute for Tottenham. Here's Hoddle wide to Thomas. They've got Falco and Waddle waiting in the centre, and the ball runs off Stephen for a throw. And Tottenham take the only gamble left, a defender off and a forward on. Paul Miller goes. John Chiedozie, who's been something of a lucky mascot for Tottenham in the Cup this season, he has scored in both rounds so far and got the goal that kept them in it at Oxford. He comes on. Hoddle. Chiedozie. And he forces a corner straight away. So Hoddle with the kick. Short to Stevens. Back to Hoddle. And Waddle heads it back. Chiedozie didn't quite make it. Well, Everton are a difficult side to score against at any time, but Tottenham's position now is one of sheer desperation. Chiedozie challenging, even without Mountfield, without Ratcliffe and without Gary Stevens. Everton's back four and goalkeeper looking very solid. There's lots of debate about Peter Reid's possible influence on the England team, and people have compared him with the claims of Wilkins and Hoddle. Well, he produced that whipped cross which brought the Everton goal, and a very good ball in it was too. The Spurs are not inventing anything. That's the reason why Everton are coping at the moment quite comfortably. What can Waddle do? That's a better ball. And Hoddle! They've been trying to get him into a striking position all night. And now hit the outside of the goal. Waddle made the initial impression down the left. This time it was too long for Falco. Poynton may have got half a touch. And into the side netting by Glenn Hoddle. Steams at each other's way, and Sharp's away here for Everton. Lineker's unmarked in the centre. Allen trying to get to him. Here's Stephen. And again Trevor Stephen. And Lineker! And he's buried it! And he may have buried Tottenham season 2. The 74th minute. Everton go 2 goals up. And it's Gary Lineker's 32nd of the season for them. The cross was by Trevor Stephen. Tottenham again left him totally unmarked. And how do you expect Lineker to miss from there? He doesn't. Well, when Spurs go right back to the beginning of that Everton attack, they'll find 2 of their own players colliding. But Allen puts the ball in here. And that confusion put Everton on their way. The first thrust was repelled, but when they came again, they found the Spurs defence undermanned. Well, Lineker now, 32 goals in his first season already at Goodison Park. In fact, it's 32 in 44 games. What a strike rate, and 16 in his last 13 games. And Chiedozie! Great save by Southall. Chiedozie can't believe it. It's a corner though. Waddle to take it. Headed out by Reid.
Allen. Will it go again? No, it won't. Reed, that's a good little touch. Heath, so's that. Bracewell. And he's got Peter Reed chugging down this left-hand side. Lineker inevitably is in the middle. So are two others. Support comes here from Bracewell. Perryman to Waddle. Well, was that Spurs' chance to pull something back? Falco headed it on. Chiedozie did the right thing. He tried to lob the goalkeeper, but what a fine stretching save by Southall. This is Chiedozie. And Falco! Yes! They've got one back. Just 10 minutes from the end, Spurs at last have a say. Mark Falco with a perfectly placed header from the cross by the substitute, John Chiedozie. This time, he got up well and planted that wide of Southall, who could do nothing about it. Now then, the crowd suddenly sense that there may be something in it for Tottenham after all. Peter Shreve knows there's an awful lot on the line here. Well, you can't complain about lack of incident here. It's talk about a typical cut tie. It's an overused phrase, but it applies to this match. It's Danny Thomas with the throw. This is Waddle. Oh, and Nabbit was in there! Was it in? Hasn't been yet! Allen! No! Incredible! And the referee will have to sort it all out. An amazing melee. I thought Nabbit had got the ball in at first. Spurs look anxiously towards the linesman, but referee John Martin has given a free kick, I think. But Gary Mabbott here, number 7, the ball came off him, and amazing, Vanden Howe, I thought it was over the line for a minute. Was it Vanden Howe who hooked it out the first time? Certainly it hit a defender the second time, and then Southall caught it. Well, it was the first one from Mabbott that looked as though it might even have been in. The referee says no. If it wasn't in, it was an amazing clearance from a defender who hooked his foot right round the ball. So an infringement by a Spurs forward was what John Martin decided, and Everton got away with it. Poynton's header, Hoddle. Oh, it came too quickly to Mabbott. Referee has looked at both his linesmen. Stevens. And the whistle goes. Everton are in the quarter-finals for the 6th time in 7 seasons. Peter Shreve and Tottenham have to answer some more searching questions, despite making some sort of recovery in a cup tie which at one point with Lineker's second goal was going right away from them. They got one goal back, and as the Everton fans salute their team, who did well without Stevens and Ratcliffe, remember, and go on to a quarter-final against either Arsenal or Luton, let's just reflect on the moment when Spurs thought they might have got a replay. Chris Waddle crossed the ball, it came back off the goalkeeper. I wonder if Gary Mabbott was accused of handball there in the aftermath that followed. That could have been it. Vanden Howe got it out miraculously. Falco went in on Southall, and the Spurs players were appealing it was over, but maybe the referee blew initially for the hands by Mabbott, because it ended up with a free kick to Everton. They survived, and they go through to the last 8 after a breathless last few minutes. Spurs 1, Everton